are you feeling today?
I'm feeling well.
So, can you introduce us yourself?
Yes. So my name is Joe Campbell, and I'm a creative technologist, and I specialize currently in doing augmented reality, primarily for social media effects like Instagram and Snapchat, and now for TikTok. And and I've been doing it for many years now, probably about at least 15 years working professionally. I have a background in advertising.
How you started your journey? Do you remember?
So I used to be a Flash guy. You're probably too young to remember Flash, but back in the 90s, early 2000s, it was pretty hot on the web. Everybody did like really cool animations and cartoons, and you could do really fun websites, very interactive, immersive websites using Flash. But then when the iPhone came out, Flash kind of went away because, Steve Jobs wasn't going to support Flash. And so I decided to, sort of diversify my skills. So I got more, because I used to be just primarily like, I did some coding, I did some action script coding with the Flash, but I was primarily an animator. So then I started to learn other things like Unity, because it combined a lot of the things I liked about Flash, being able to animate and program at the same time, using both sides of the brain, which I really enjoy. And and from there, I started, because you have to always have other assets, like you need imagery, or you need models or some sort of animation. So instead of relying on other people for that, I started learning that as well. So I've really sort of diversified my, skill set. So I know, and in the process, I sort of learned how to learn, because everything seems really daunting at first when you try to learn something. But, you just got to break it up into little bits, just little accomplishments. Just try to accomplish a little something, get that hello world going, make something move, and then just kind of build on that, and then before you know it, you get, pretty competent at what you're trying to figure out. You just got to have patience with yourself, and, and try not to think oh, I'm bad at math, I'll never, you can't go in with an attitude that I'm going to be bad at this. Because everybody starts off bad, before, you got to crawl before you can walk, and walk before you can run.
So as you are already pretty many years in augmented reality, what would you recommend for newbies? Whenever you're just starting out in augmented reality, where is better to start? From which platform?
Well, that's an interesting question, because there are so many different platforms right now. It depends on, I'm kind of, diversified, where I could do Unity and other things. But it depends on what your interests are. If you're, let's say, so if you're more of an artist, and want to, you're good at design or something, that's going to come in handy for all the platforms. But if you're not really into the coding so much, you could start off with the Spark AR, or one of the other social media effects, because they really try hard to make it easy for people who don't know how to code. They have these little little modules that you can drag, into, to try to make it do something. But, they basically try to make it pretty easy to at least get something going. So those are always good to start with, as a confidence builder, because first of all, they're free. You don't have to pay any extra money for it. You just download the free software, and then there are tons of tutorials out there. YouTube's going to be your best friend anytime you're trying to learn something like this. But if you're more if you're more of a coder and you like coding, And actually, what I recommend for a lot of people to try to get into that's starting out with augmented reality is web AR. There are different platforms out there. I personally use Eighth Wall a lot. And that's pretty heavy on the coding side. You have to know HTML and JavaScript, to be able to make things move and interact.
So I understand that you're on the market 15 years right now, and you might have a lot of clients, and you're not in need to find more, maybe. But how are they communicating with you? Like, from what is the source? Where do you find clients, and what do you advise to new creators who are just on their way to get new clients and to throw their name on the market?
So that's a very interesting question. So I used to work professionally in New York City for like 10 to 15 years, like in advertising. So I know a lot of people from that. You get to know a lot of people just from like the office environment, and they go off to other places and things like that, and then they sort of remember me. So so a lot of mine is like word of mouth. But when I was first getting started, like when I was like a Flash guy, a Flash developer, it's like you just got to do when you're just starting off. I would just advise that people pick a project that's going to be fun for them. Even if it's not a professional project, like for a professional client, you can kind of make up your own client, pretend like you're doing something for a soda company, make up your own soda can, or and even doing something like that's great, because then you add like, oh, look, I create a label, it's something you can add to your, so you sort of accidentally gain new skills as you go about learning this stuff. But yeah, definitely do like a project that's fun for you, because people, and then you put it out there, you put it on your own website, and you share it with friends or colleagues. And if you're making like an interactive AR thing, or just even a silly thing, and you just share it around, then people will be like, oh yeah, I know, if it ever comes up, somebody will be like, oh, I know a kid who does like AR. I saw his thing, my cousin Bobby, the guy, and you just, and if it's, if it sort of encapsulates your personality and style, that's even better, because people enjoy seeing some personal style in something. For me, what I did when I was starting out with learning augmented reality and Unity and all that stuff. I don't know if you're familiar with my Instagram effect, Jerry, the frog. Have you seen that one?
I have seen it, and I wanted to talk about it. Actually, if you can share and talk more, like how you started and like what is the background?
Yeah, this kind of ties in together, and I got a lot of funny Jerry stories. But so Jerry's, I'll tell you his origin story, which is basically when I was, when Flash was going away, and I was getting less of those assignments, and so I was trying to learn more about 3D, animation and 3D modeling and Unity and all that stuff. I discovered this. Oh, there's this free software that your listeners might like. They're not paying me, but if they want to throw me money, it's Daz 3D. It's a free character creating software, and it's got some animation stuff in there too. But I really wouldn't recommend it for so much. I would use Mixamo for that. But so anyway, so it's a free software, and I was learning it, and it's basically a character creating software. And so you get like this base model of a person, and it could be a man or a woman. And there's actually it has all these little morphing sliders. So you can make somebody like short or tall, muscular or fat. And like details in the face. So this software is free, but the way they get you is you got to buy, if you want all the cool stuff, they give you some things to start off with, but if you want like different outfits for your characters or different morphs for the character, you have to buy those through their store. and then it's like a little plug-in that you install, and then you get these little morphs.
Mhm.
So when I was doing it, like make a little, I bought this one package that had like this frog morph in it, and it came with frog skins, like toad skin and a green skin. But the morph worked on the default human character. So it looked like this weird naked frog person. And the funny thing is like the details on the skin, like the DAS people, I think that what they did was they actually like scanned a human. So there's like all these like freckles, you can kind of see like a tan line, just a little red splotch, he's just got like all these weird it's sort of like the uncanny valley, where something's like too realistic, but weird looking, it's so weird. So anyhow, he made me laugh, and so I kept him like that. And then he just became sort of my muse. And so when I was working on something, like I would be like, all right, let me try to import a character. I would use Jerry, and I need to figure out how to make a move. So I would use Jerry to get him to dance, and then it's even funnier when he's dancing because he's like twerking, and so what happened? So I was using them for everything I was trying to learn, and then when Spark AR rolled out, I forgot what it was called. It was called something else when it first came out.
Something. It was like
I can't remember. But anyways, I was like experimenting with it, and at the time I could only put stuff on Facebook, and then I applied to get into the beta program for the Instagram, and I got approved. And so then I was like, all right, you know what I'm doing? I'm going to put Jerry in there and see if I can get him to dance. And so I get Jerry and I make an effect, it gets approved. It's working out great. And then I joined the Spark AR community, and then I put it out there for them. And then all of a sudden, this one weekend, my phone is just blowing up because people are like, I don't know if it's true now, but I think people had to follow you to get the effects.
Yeah.
And so my phone was like blowing up. It was like, and I go to check out my Instagram, and I'm getting like just follower after follower after follower. And I don't know what happened, but and so this is also weird because it was like Russian people. So it's a lot of like Russians who started following me. Yeah, and I thought I was getting hacked. I was like, what's going on? I think
Russians are invading me.
Yeah, I was like, holy crap, what's going on? I don't know if this was going on during the Crimea thing too. So I was like, oh, are they attacking everybody? And then one day, and then I suddenly went from like having just 80 followers on Instagram to like 80,000 in like a weekend. And like I kept getting all these like Jerry videos that people were sending me. And like I was also getting a lot of Ukrainians too. And somebody actually sent me a video of Jerry at Chernobyl, which is pretty crazy. So I get all these, I post them a lot on my Instagram. And I even gave Jerry his own account. There was a time when I was like, all right, I got to separate myself from this frog because but we're just inexplicably linked. I can't escape this frog at this point. So, so here's my TikTok story with Jerry. So Effect Test came out, and I was like, oh, all right, you know what I'm doing, right? I'm gonna try to get Jerry up on TikTok. So sure enough, I get Jerry, gets approved, everything's going swimmingly. And then all of a sudden I get a notice from them. And this happened with Snapchat. I tried to get him on there, but they didn't like his naked butt or something, and they just wouldn't allow it. But TikTok allowed it. And then all of a sudden, like a few days later, they're like, oh, we can't allow this. This violates some, policy of like being too sexual or something.
No.
And I'm like, Jerry's got no gender. Jerry's non-binary. He's done, Jerry's not even a thing. So what happened? So because Effect House was in beta, they're like, all right, we're not going to allow it. And so I thought they were just going to take it down. But for some reason, there was some glitch in the system, and Jerry was still active, even though they disapproved him. He was still on my thing. And so he kind of went viral, and all these people started using Jerry on TikTok. But then, and I added some different dance moves, So there's this one where he's kind of doing like a breakdancing backspin sort of thing, but his legs, the legs kind of spread in probably a provocative way, perhaps, when he's doing that dance. And so he got attached to some other song that got attached to him, because I haven't really dabbled in like playing. I'm too busy to goof around TikTok as much as I should be. And so I don't exactly know how everything works, but somehow the effect got attached to this song, or some people kept attaching to this one song to it.
Trendy song, yeah.
And it was a pretty crass song. And I'm not going to repeat the lyrics, but I was like, oh man. And so I had no control over that, so he was out, and honestly, I could have taken down Jerry myself because I had access to my control panel. But my attitude was like, no, TikTok, you want him down so bad, you take him down. You figure out how to take him down. And so he kept going, and people were doing like some really funny videos with him too. And then at the same time, I was enjoying the chaos of it.
but out of this story, like, we can say that if you want to go viral and if you want to be seen, you have to make something different, right?
Yeah, you just got to make something you unique and something funny. Like if it's something that makes you laugh, chances are it's going to make other people laugh.
Sure.
So you can go with that. Also, what I found useful was kind of making an effect, based on current topical events. There was like last presidential debate, there was this thing like Mike Pence had this fly, and like he had this weird red eye. So I made a filter for that, and there was, COVID, I made an effect that did social distancing. So like it could detect if you're 6 feet away from somebody. So, there was like, if you pay attention to current events and you get something out there, there's a chance that people might pick it up, and share it, and it might become a thing. And, definitely, just, those Facebook groups, whether you're learning Instagram or, there's a group for everybody. There's a TikTok, there's a Snap. You can join those groups and share your work there. It's just about like just sharing what you love, and don't be embarrassed about it, and just say like, hey, this is my first thing. I would love some feedback, and try not to take any feedback you get personal from people. Sometimes it can be a little brutal, like, oh, I worked all day on that, and, and somebody doesn't like it. Then just move on, just take it, and just try to learn from it, and go from there, and just never give up. Just keep trying, just a little bit of time every day to like learn something new. That even if you're already pretty good at something, you never stop learning.
Sure.
And they're always doing updates to things too. So I always have to like. I haven't opened up Unity. I actually just made Jerry into, to avoid cancellation, I went ahead and made him into his own iPhone app. Now I'm going to make him into an Android soon. I'm just having trouble compiling it. I hadn't opened up Unity in like a couple of years because I've been focused on the Instagram and social media stuff. And then I was like, oh, whoa, it's changed. You know, the whole thing's different. And then I had to like go and kind of relearn it again until I got and be like, oh, yeah, oh, that's what that does. You know, like, yeah. So but you know, if you do Unity, I recommend it if you wanted to make a, you know, I haven't done Unreal. I don't know what their AR capabilities are.
Mhm.
That's on my long list of other crap I need to learn. But Unity actually has this thing called AR Foundation, which is sort of it kind of combines AR Core and AR Kit it kind of does, it finds the common functionalities between those two things. So you can publish to iPhone and Android if you're trying to make an augmented reality thing. And when you're in the apps stuff too, you can make a more robust thing than you can with social media because you're limited by file size and you know and their rules, you know, that you have to adhere to. But if you're making your own app, you know, you can just make your own app, and then if you get on the store, you're on the store.
Do you see, like, where is trend going? Like, are people ordering apps still, or what do you think? Like, how it will?
Well, the thing now with apps is they're like nobody wants to buy an app anymore. Nobody wants to pay for one. So generally, and this is something that I had to like learn recently, and it was crazy amount of hoops I had to jump through. But most people do like interstitial ads in their apps. So, or like reward-based ads. So like if you wanted, like, let's say you had an AR character and, you know, you could have like in-app purchases where somebody could pay $1 and buy an outfit for your character. Or you could make them watch a video to get that thing, which is like a reward-based advertising. So basically you get like a fraction of a penny, you know, for every time somebody sees one of these ads. You know, in-store purchases, you could set the price. You know, the Google Store and Apple, they're going to take a bite of that though, you know, and then you got to pay taxes too. So you probably get like, you know, 30 cents on the dollar for whatever you sell. But you can do, and there are like a lot of tutorials and packages in Unity for setting that up. So if you did want to set up like some sort of in-store purchase thing in your app, you could do that. My Jerry app, I try to keep. I just want him out there because I just like him out there causing trouble. So right now, and it's really basic right now because I just wanted to get it, you know. And this is like another little. There'll be iterations. You know, don't be afraid to iterate on your thing. Like you can put, you know, because you can fiddle with something. Because if you're a perfectionist like I am, sometimes you can like wind up just obsessing over something and be like, oh, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. You know, it's just like just get it good enough. just kind of get it there to where it works. You know, and like you got the basic meat of the thing together. You know, and then just get it out there. And then just update it later, you know, and you can just do these iterations, you know, and sometimes people are annoyed by updates and sometimes people are really excited by them. You know, if it's getting better, people are going to be excited by the update you make. So don't be afraid to iterate. That's another thing, you know, be like, hey, this is my prototype. You know, you got to start off with the prototype and then you just kind of build on it. So like in the future, like right now, I just run an interstitial ad if you save or share the video you take. And then, you know, later on, I'm going to do the outfit idea where you can, because, you know, a lot of people complain about Jerry being naked. So, I'm going to like do a thing where you can like put clothes on them. But you do get the Mickey Mouse Jerry in the app, and he is available also on Instagram. I call him Jerry Sellout, where basically Jerry's wearing the same outfit that Mickey Mouse wears. And it's almost more disturbing than the naked Jerry because it's weird because he's shirtless, you know, because Mickey Mouse doesn't wear a shirt. He's wearing white gloves and gold shoes and like red shorts with big buttons. You know, it's in Mickey Mouse ears. He looks weird. But he's available in the app. It's called the Jerry the Amazing Frog on the iOS store. And it's only available for the phone because I was having problems with iPad with scaling and stuff. But yeah, it's free. So you can record videos and you can share it to whatever you want. You can even share it to TikTok if you want. If you want to get them back out there.
That's great.
Harassing the TikTok people.
Let's make them angry. So it was very nice talking to you. Our time is like going into the final.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
All right. Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.